Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's Mary Fain Brent with a LinkedIn Bakery serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. I'm super excited for my show tonight because my special guest is Stephanie Nivinskus, right there in the pretty in pink, or wait, right there. I always do that the wrong way. And I just thank you, Stephanie, so much for carving out the time in your busy schedule, because I know you're a mother of three, business owner. You spoke this morning at the C1 group, which is one of our favorite networking groups, which is Christian Women Entrepreneur Networking Group. Rebecca Garcia is the founder. If you ever want to go to that networking group, it's here in San Diego, and it's the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 9 a.m. Let me know, and I will get you a free pass for first-time visitors. But I want to back it up just a little bit. So Stephanie and I, we were just talking before we came on, and I actually saw Stephanie, it had to be at least 3 years ago, speak at a SCORE Women's Breakfast networking meeting out in El Cajon, and she was the storyteller speaker. And I remember like, oh, I'm going to that session, because your energy was so, like, you were just so energetic, full of joy. And I was like, I need to learn to tell my story, so I'm going to go sit there in the front row and take notes. And you didn't recall that until right now, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it's been a journey getting to know each other. For those of you who don't know my story, where my mom was sick, Stephanie knew the whole story because of us being in the Christian women's group. And when my mom passed away, I stepped away from my business, like totally stepped away, had no clients, was not marketing, and wasn't in a line with the old name and branding. And Stephanie, your assistant, was it Amanda? She called and said, hey, Stephanie just wanted to find out, like, you already paid for your marketing session. Do you still want to have it? And I was like, well, I paid for it. Why not have it? And so I have Stephanie to thank that I always do it the wrong way. I have Stephanie to thank for the LinkedIn Bakery, because she came up with that in a 1 hour session. She came up with that new name, LinkedIn Bakery, bite-sized tips, and that name honors my mom. So again, Stephanie, I tell that story because that is like a pivotal point in being an entrepreneur for me, when I pivoted to being this LinkedIn strategist and creating the fun brand, because we don't have to be in a box. I don't like boxes.
No boxing.
I like color and circles and all of that good stuff. So you helped me like embrace my style and my brand, and you helped me really, that was a pivotal part or pivotal time where I was like, okay, I am supposed to do this, because I thought I was going to shut down my business and just walk away. So thank you.
Well, it was an honor. Aww. Absolute honor. I mean, how much fun to work with you. Who doesn't want to work with Mary? Everybody does.
Thanks. So you guys, if you're watching, you know what, give us a high five, tell me where you're watching from, and you know what, tell me what line of business you're in, whether you have a job or whether you have your own business. I want to know what business you're in so I can help support you and give you leads and referrals, because I am a natural born connector. It's one of my God-given talents, and I love connecting other people with products, places, services, and things. So let me know what you do in the comments there and who is watching, because I know we had about 20 people signed up to come in. And I know Catherine Dietz, if you're watching, would you just type your name in there? Because I know you had some specific questions for Stephanie, and we will answer those a little later on in this episode. So Stephanie, why don't you just, I always want my audience to know that the people I'm bringing on are credible, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about your backstory, how long you've been in business. And, oh, Catherine is here. Hey, Catherine, yay, we'll get to your questions. Tell us about what it is you do, how long you've been doing it, and just, so everyone understands I didn't just meet you yesterday and decided, hey, let's bring her on the show.
Right. Okay, very good. So, hi, everybody. I am very honored to be with you this evening. So thank you to Mary for inviting me. A little bit about my background. So my degree is in journalism. The original plan was to be a reporter. That got sidetracked very quickly after a professor told me that my voice was too squeaky and that I wouldn't make it, right? Because my voice was too squeaky. So an impressionable little 21-year-old that I was I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just go into the writing side of journalism. And
Wow.
one thing led to another. I ended up 3 weeks after graduating getting a job at the San Diego Reader in the advertising department, which wasn't the plan at all, but that's where I landed. And it very quickly launched into the career that I still have. The only thing I know how to do is write and sell and speak and market stuff, right? And that all started just as a result of that first little job that then led to the Union Tribune. And this is pre.com. So
Pre.com.
Yeah.
I love it.
Back in the dark ages before that existed, people actually worked at newspapers. So that's where my career started. Right around 1998, I think it was, .com became a word. I got recruited by Cox to come over and launch their division of what if you're in San Diego, you know of as San Diego Insider.com or SignOnSanDiego.com.
Oh my gosh. So you actually went to college and are in the profession that you got a degree in. You know that's unusual. Like you're in the 1%.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been doing it ever since 1995. So yeah, and so I did that, and then in 2009 I broke out on my own and I started SizzleForce Marketing, and here we are.
Yay, and here we are. Well, Kate just joined us from, I think it says Canada, Oakville, Canada. Hey, Kate, thanks for joining us. We're so glad that you're here. So, Stephanie, I always call you the storyteller and speaker. You know, you're just branding and marketing. You're kind of doing all that. And, you know, I know you and I have worked together in the past, and we're currently working together. I'm a little tardy on some assignments, but, you know, you're great to work with. I know. That darn summer cold that got me for 3 weeks. I don't know if anyone else got that summer cold. I don't understand how people get colds in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. No. So we know that you're credible. We know that I've worked with you, so people know that I love to promote people that I've actually worked with, and I actually don't promote people, products, places, or services if I haven't worked with you or have a really, really good understanding of what you do. I'm just not that person. I can't do that. But today we want to talk about speaking. Now, I know when I first started speaking, and even now, I get really nervous and butterflies. And Stephanie, you shared a little something with me yesterday via our phones. Stephanie and I were texting back and forth. Do you mind sharing a little bit, like, how you were preparing for this, and even now that you get nervous?
For sure. Okay, well, you just kind of spoiled my secret, Mary. But yes, what I was telling Mary, you know, sometimes when you learn from somebody that's been speaking for a while, you make these false assumptions like, oh, they just get on stage and they're able to do it so seamlessly and there's no nerves and there's no preparation. They can just get up and turn on the magic. And I'm here to tell you true confessions of a speaker. That's not true 99%. Because
that's how I feel about you. I'm like, Stephanie just gets on stage, turns on the magic, and like, it just flows. It's just like, whoa.
Right? Okay. Truth be told, last night I'm like panicking while I'm texting Mary. And I'm like, so wait, I think you told me to talk about this, but did you say that? Because I was so busy when we were talking and planning that I don't know and I can't find my notes. Right? And then I'm like, I'm totally nervous. I don't know what's going on with me. Right? So if you guys are aspiring speakers, or if you're just, you've spoken a little bit and you're growing your speaking career, I just want you to know it's totally normal and totally okay to be nervous, because once the lights come on, your natural energy is going to come through and cancel out any of those nerves that get in the way. I get very nervous before I come on. But then once I go on and I get some reception from the crowd and I have a great, interview with Mary going on, everything starts to flow.
Now, have you ever been in a situation where you've been asked to speak somewhere and you're like, okay, great. I started speaking at networking groups in San Diego. Wink, Hera Hub, just all over, South Bay networking, whatever it was, to kind of like get that practice going. But have you ever been asked to speak, you get there and there's like 5 people in the room. What do you do then?
That's always a fun treat. You know what I do then? If that happens, you just need to change your expectation and change your environment, okay? So instead of standing up and walking around the room and trying to, engage it the way it was in your mind, where there's going to be a whole room full of people, instead you say, you know what, you guys, I'm so excited. We have a really intimate group tonight, and I can pour into you guys at a level that I'm not normally able to do, because normally there's too many people. So why don't we just sit around this table together and let's get real and talk about what's really going on with you guys.
That's a great tip. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket in case that happens to me again.
Yeah. But the other thing to keep in mind, and this is funny, a lot of times people are like, gosh, I want to speak on these huge stages with these huge audiences. And I can tell you, getting in front of 5 of your ideal clients that are really tuned in and dialed into everything you're sharing with them can be far more profitable than speaking in front of 10,000 people that may or may not be your people.
True. Kate says, fabulous tip. And Sherry, I just want to say hi to Sherry Marks. She joined on. So that's a great tip. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. I've learned, I prepare when I'm going to speak. And my husband laughs at me. He's like, you've done this a gazillion times. Why are you creating a new PowerPoint or a new talk? I'm like, well, things change and it's a new group. I've got to spice it up. And he just kind of laughs at me, and I'm like, yes, I can get up there and talk about it, but I'm also dyslexic, and everyone these days is a little ADD, right? So
right.
So if I don't have like my notes in order, I can get really thrown off and not talk in order and cover the points I wanted to. Do you have any tips on when you're giving a talk, like, what do you do to make sure, because you don't want to read off a PowerPoint. That's so 1990s, right?
Right.
So 1990s, like to have a PowerPoint with too much text up there. So do you use PowerPoints when you speak?
It depends on the group that I'm speaking for and the environment. So sometimes I will have slides up there. But typically, I limit any slides that I have, the text on them is limited to 5 words or less. I treat it like a billboard on the freeway, and I pretend people are driving down the freeway at, 75-ish.
Busted.
And when you're driving down the freeway at that speed and you see a billboard, you've got all of 2 seconds to communicate your message. And so if I do use slides, I treat them in the same way, because I want my audience looking at me, not trying to read a slide and disengaging with the speaker, right? Because if they lose their focus on me for too long, then I lose them entirely, right? Okay. So slides can be helpful. A lot of times you don't need slides. A lot of times, if you're trying to go back to, well, how am I going to know what I'm going to say if I don't have my slides coaching me along the way? Especially when you're first starting out, we all have one of these in our pocket, right? You can carry it with you when you're speaking. Nobody is going to care. Keep your notes on it and glance down at them when you need to, right? Like if I'm looking at this right now, does that throw you off if I just glance down real quick? No, it doesn't, and nobody cares.
Yeah, it's kind of like given that you have a phone, like right there, right?
Yeah.
That's a good tip. Fabulous. So do you remember your first speaking gig? Like one that you got all excited, like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in the 5th grade, Mary.
What?
Yeah, my first speaking gig was in the 5th grade, and I wanted to win a prize. I wish I could remember the prize. I don't know what it was, but the school was doing something, and I just wanted the prize. So that was the only reason that I entered it. Oh, and I did give the speech, and I won. I won the prize, right? It was 5th grade, so I'm sure it was like super stellar speaking that was happening.
Oh my gosh. But right? You remember that to this day, like that is your first speaking gig. Like that's your first stage when you think about it.
It was. And I was thinking when I was preparing for our chat tonight, I was thinking about why, like what led to me speaking and why am I doing this? What's the whole purpose? And it really occurred to me, and I think this is true of a lot of people that want to speak. When I was younger, I struggled with feeling heard. Okay. There were, the environment that I was in, I didn't really feel like I had much of a voice. You too?
Yeah, I was always told to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I had a lot to say.
Right. So did I, right? I never felt like I had a whole lot of a voice or that my voice mattered enough to listen to. Let me put it that way. What I found in 5th grade when I did that first speaking thing is that all of a sudden, if I spoke, people actually paid attention and people actually looked at me and listened to what I had to say. And that felt so good, right? That felt so good. And that was like, it became this thing like, oh, wow, okay. So that's how you get your voice heard, is you get on stage and then people listen to you.
I love it. Yeah. I had to stay in school and write, I will not talk in class. I was that child 2 years in a row, 2nd and 3rd grade. And I look back and I tell my parent, my dad and my siblings and stuff, I'm like, I had a lot to say and nobody was listening to me. So, I would get in trouble because I just wanted to talk. I was very curious. I had a lot of questions. I had a lot of opinions as a child. Right. And I kept getting shushed. And then later on, like in adult life, I realized that I felt so shushed. Like, don't share that. Don't talk about that. And so maybe that has something to do with, speakers speaking on stage. They have something to say and they haven't been heard before.
Yeah. And every voice matters, right?
Amen.
And the cool thing about speaking today is that you don't even have to be on a stage. You can be in front of a Skype camera doing a live and you are being heard. And it's so great because you have something worthwhile to say. And it's so great in today's environment that it's so easy for all of us to share.
There's so many more options. You don't have to be shot down, and you're right. So that's, one of the biggest questions that I think our audience has tonight is, how do I start? So Catherine, you're on, and I think one of your questions was, you're getting ready. You want to do more speaking. You know that you have something you need to share so that you can help other women. And I think Catherine's question in the Facebook event was, how do you get started? Like, where do you start, Stephanie?
Yeah. So the first thing that I encourage you to do is actually to listen and learn from people that are already doing it. That's step one. So if you're not already going to events where speakers are, I would add some of those to your calendar and start paying attention. And when you are allowed to, take your phone out and hit the record button. When a speaker is on stage, especially if it's a big name, because you want to listen to it over and over and over again. You'll learn things about the order in which they speak. You'll learn about inflections that they make when they're talking. You'll learn about when they make their offers and when they don't. You'll learn all kinds of great juicy stuff just by watching. It's almost like, pretend like you're a baby that's learning everything from mom and dad, right? You're learning how to talk. You're learning how to walk. You're learning how to eat. You're learning how to do all these things by watching and listening, okay? So that's where I would start. After you do that, when it's time for you to get out there and actually get your feet wet and get in front of a group, you want to start speaking at some of the small local events like Mary was mentioning. So looking for those little networking groups with, fairly forgiving audiences, okay? I find that women are far more forgiving than men. Sorry, guys, but I don't know. In my experience, speak for a small women's networking group, right? Go to something where there's 10 people and just get your feet wet. Start sharing for 5 minutes. Do that, the 5-minute introduction thing. I think there's like groups like, I don't know if it's BNI or LaTip or it's one of those.
BNI, LaTip. What do you think about Toastmasters? I went to 2.
Yeah. You know, I've heard a lot about Toastmasters. I've actually never been to a Toastmasters meeting before. And I've heard that it does help people get confidence speaking and whatnot. I'm a speaker and I've never been, so do you need to go to Toastmasters? No.
No, I don't think that it's something you need to go, but if someone was like looking to, you could go and I know you can go like to 2 meetings for free, and you could just go and sit in and see, you know, how they're doing it. Do you find, so I'm just thinking about sometimes when I was asked to speak, sometimes there's like that time limit, and that time thing always freaks me out. Yeah. Especially, I did speak at Toastmasters, and I think they told me I had 6 minutes. And I was like, 6 minutes? Are you crazy?
Yeah. I don't know if Rebecca is watching us right now or not, but this is hilarious. I've been speaking for years and years. And this morning at my event, I had 30 minutes. And I keep my phone like right on the little platform thing in front of me so that I can make sure I'm staying on track with my time. And my timer said I had 6 minutes left, so I knew I was wrapping it up and whatnot. And she like holds up the sign that you're done. Like you need to be done. And that was my face. That face you just made, Mary. What? Like I looked at her and I'm like in the middle of my speech and I was like did the dog thing where I turned my head like this, like I don't understand. And then I look, because I know her and I've spoken for her group so many times, I have the liberty to be like, I have 5 more minutes, don't take my time.
Right.
But it happens to all of us.
Well, we have some more guests joining, so I just want to recognize them. Angela, she's like so glad that she's here. Catherine said that she went to a TEDx event on 8/25 and felt super inspired by it. I love TEDx Talks. My question was about how you would deliver your speech differently live versus a webinar. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. Our girl Stephanie Lou joined. Hey, Stephanie, high five. She says Toastmasters is great. They do have a lot of resources to help new speakers. So I think as a new speaker, maybe a Toastmaster, BNI, LaTip, and the local networking groups, those are great places to get your feet wet. I know that I did, and of course I had a monster PowerPoint when I started, so don't do that. I kind of think, is it Dennis Yu, that has the 10, 20, 30 rule? Like you're supposed to have only 10 slides, and you're supposed to talk 10 slides for 20 minutes with 30 points. Something like that. I'll look that up and post it.
I'm probably totally breaking that rule. I did not know that rule existed.
Well, there's all different rules, but it got me to thinking about how I presented, and it toned down my PowerPoints where it's just like a statement. Or it's a picture. A picture is even better because they're like, oh, and then they have to pay attention to you to explain what that picture represents, what the meaning of it is. So, yeah. We've got some other people. Laura joined us. Hey, Laura, so glad that you're here. Okay. So, all kinds of comments. You guys, we're gonna focus right now on Catherine Dietz' question because she did post in the Facebook group earlier. So how do you, if you don't mind, Stephanie, let's go to Catherine's question on how do you deliver a speech differently live versus a webinar? And God knows that I need this right now, folks. You all know I'm working on my online course, and I just have a wall because the webinar thing, it scares the bejeebies out of me because it has to be perfect.
Okay. So the difference that I do between live and stage for me, okay, now this may be different for you. You need to think about your personality style. Okay. For me, I get energy from audience interaction, right? So for me, speaking on stage, when I can see people nodding and smiling and laughing at my jokes, that spurs me on, right? When I do stuff online, I feel like a lot of times I'm talking to a black hole, right? And I don't have that engagement going. And it can be very challenging to keep your energy high and keep people super engaged.
Smile, right? Like you have no one to smile at. Or my husband, he's always like, smile. you know,
Right.
so it comes through like, cause a lot of webinars, you know, they see your face, right? So you got to
Yeah.
smile and you have to talk slower, right? Cause I talk fast.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. My points are things that you can do that should be different. When you are speaking online to people, like Mary said, you do want to speak slowly.
Okay.
This goes whether you speak on stage or whether you speak online, you want to take intentional pauses.
Like that.
Like, okay? Because I want you guys to process what I'm saying. And when you say certain words, you want to enunciate and even lean in, okay? This is something that you can do on stage or you can do online. I'm trying to think about how things are actually different between the two, aside from the audience interaction. You know, as far as what you're doing, when you're doing something online, like Mary does great with these lives because she really engages the audience. Like, even though you're not in the same room, we're not in the same room. She and I are not in the same room. But even though we're all in different places, she'll say, like, hey, you guys pop in, put a chat, put a comment, and then she'll answer questions. So that's one thing that you really need to be aware of when you're doing stuff online.
Yeah. So Terry Burden, she just joined us. She's like, I agree with Stephanie. Intentional pauses, good idea. And leaning in. I like the leaning in when it's important or you want people to like, oh, I need to listen, right? So that's,
like, think about when you do, like, when you're having a conversation with someone, like, pretend you're having coffee with your best friend, right? And your best friend just, you know, had this, let's pretend you're single, okay? And your best friend just went on a date with someone. And it's the day after, and you got together, you want to hear all about it. And she's like, okay, so let me tell you about the date. What are you going to do? You're going to be like,
yeah, tell me.
Bring it on, let's hear.
What's up?
Right? You're super interested.
You're like, yeah, you totally like lean in, like, okay, tell me.
Okay, it's no different when you're doing stuff online or on stage. It communicates interest. It communicates intention and like purpose, and listen to what I'm going to share with you. This is important.
So one thing I've noticed, other people, and I'm sure I've done it as well, when you're doing a webinar, right? You're looking at your laptop, your desktop. You need to look at the camera, right?
Yeah.
So we tend to look right here in the middle, but we need to look wherever your camera is, which is going to be up there. So my girl Stephanie Lou that's on, this is her trick. Stephanie, I'm going to give your trick away. She has a Post-it and she puts it by the camera.
That's smart. You know what? It is hard. It's kind of awkward because, like, right now, I'm looking right into the camera, but your face is like in this part of the vision. So I can, and it takes training, right, to be okay with this. And you'll see, like, even when you're talking, I will be looking actually at you. But when I'm talking, I intentionally look at the camera because I want them to think that I'm speaking to them because I am.
That's a good tip. I don't think I do that in my Facebook Live. So, hey everyone, thanks for being here tonight. I'm so excited that you guys took time to join us. Okay, back to Stephanie. Was that...
That was fantastic.
Oh, I knew this was going to be so much fun tonight. But yeah, so looking at the camera. So Catherine, I hope that we answered your question. If you have any more, if you need any more tips on that, feel free to drop it in the event, into this post afterwards. And Stephanie and I are going to go back in and engage with each of you and answer any other questions that might pop up. So don't worry, you get us tonight and you'll get some follow through. So Terry's like, I love your nails. Mine? Oh, Angela. You guys are funny. So these are my Labor Day nails.
Those are so cute.
You know I like my sparkle. Catherine said thank you. Okay, so we talked about how to get started, where to get started, you know, what networking groups, BNI, LaTip, Toastmasters is good for beginning. My advice with the Toastmasters is check a few out. You've got to find the right one. So I've been to two and one was a little better than the other, but I might still go check out another one, or maybe not. I'll just keep practicing at networking groups here.
Another one, if you don't mind, Mary, real quick. The community service clubs are always looking for speakers. So Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club,
Oh.
they welcome first-time speakers, people that are getting their feet wet all the time. I did the Rotary circuit a lot early on.
Okay. That is really good advice. I like that. So, how do we get started and where to get started? The difference between doing a live talk like this is a live talk versus doing a pre-recorded or a webinar. That's very different. And speaking on stage, I think it's the same, but like on camera, you've got to look. If you're doing it here, you've got to look at your camera. That's one tip. I have two other questions for you, and we'll see what other people say. Rotary Club, someone said Terry said that's great. Do you reach out and offer your talks to groups? Stephanie, that's a question from Angela. Do you reach out and offer your talks to groups?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to treat speaking like making a sale, because you kind of are. You're selling your speaking services. Whether or not you're getting paid is a different matter. But you are selling yourself as a speaker. And part of selling yourself as a speaker is putting yourself in front of people, not just waiting for them to come and find you, but reaching out to certain groups and telling them. So I have a campaign I'm working on right now, actually, because I'm trying to elevate to a specific niche market with speaking, right? And this is a harder market to break in front of. It's a less forgiving audience, probably. So I really have to prove my credibility to the event hosts and tell them that I have something to bring to the table. So yes, I actually have a list that I've been working on this week, and I have been preparing my script that I will be using when I email and when I call, because I still use scripts because they work. They keep me on track. They help me get the job done, and they help me get booked. So
that's good. Yeah. Good advice. So speaking of that, so we do need to continue to reach out and inquire about speaking gigs. Do we need a media sheet or speaker reel? Because I have my media sheet halfway done, and then I stopped because I was like, it didn't look that good. I'm having someone do it for me. I just need to finish it up because now I have some better organizations to list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you first start out, do you need these things to speak at a Rotary or something like that? No, you don't. When you want to cross over into paid speaking engagements, it's going to become much more important to have these tools. It's also going to become much more important even if you're speaking at events where you're not getting paid, but you're at high-level events with bigger audiences, then you're definitely going to need a reel, and you're definitely going to need a speaker sheet. So when you're first starting, you don't have much to put on your speaker sheet. It typically has like where you've spoken before, what you speak on, some testimonials, some pictures. Well, you don't have any of that. So build it up. Get out there, speak at the Rotaries, the local networking groups, the Toastmasters, whatnot. Get some of that and then create the speaker sheet. And the reel comes later.
Okay. So I have some more questions. Terry, what kind of talks do they look for? So for the Rotary clubs, the community service clubs, what kind of talks, what would be a good fit, I guess, for topic-wise?
Mm-hmm. So in my experience, they've always just wanted educational stuff. And they really didn't even care what it was about. I could go in and I could teach them something about, bears and how they hibernate, or I could teach them about marketing and storytelling. It's like they didn't even really care. It was more just, hey, we're here together. Our goal as a group is to, help the community out and raise money. But when we gather, we like to come and we like to learn some interesting stuff. So you could talk about anything. You could talk about how to make the world's greatest chicken pot pie.
She could. Okay, everyone. News alert. Terry Vernon makes the best chicken pot pie, and I was the recipient of one when I had my knee surgery and was recovering, and it was amazing. We ate that for like 2 days, me and my two girlfriends that was taking care of me. Terry, talk about how to make a great chicken pot pie. Angela said, so preparing something like a media kit or landing page with topics you can cover. So I know so I'm going to speak a little bit on this. So Angela, I'm revamping my website, and we have a Book Mary Now page. And now I have the logos of all the places I've spoken. They're on there. And then I have to add a little more text to it as far as what are the topics I speak on.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that helps, right? Because people know. So another thing, Angela, if you want to be a speaker, we need to put that on your LinkedIn profile. Because people are all over LinkedIn looking for speakers, because I'm getting contacted. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't, and I pass that off. Like Mary Rose, I could not be on a panel for something in, I don't know when it was, June, but I passed that over to her. So definitely, if anybody out there is thinking of being a speaker, you want more speaking gigs, LinkedIn. We need to get speaker on there. We need to get that in your headline and in your summary. So I can help you with that. Or you can go in and do it yourself, but just get that word in there.
Absolutely. And once you have your speaker sheet or your speaker reel, add those to LinkedIn.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Rebecca, yes, Terry's pot pies are awesome. Mary, I need a LinkedIn tutorial. I'll take care of you. So we're having lots of comments. So let's go back. So we talked about how to get started, where to get started. We talked about media sheets and speaker reels. Now I want to go into, we've been doing this for example, for me, I have my a signature talk, right? You need to have a signature talk. You taught me that.
Yeah.
So I have my signature talk that I can whip out and do, and then I have a couple other talks that I can do. I have been speaking in this circuit now 3 years, give or take. The last 2 years, really, we'll say that. And I'm ready now. I feel ready. Stephanie, I'm ready. Like,
go on, girl.
I am ready. I spoke a couple times this last month, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for that next stage. I'm ready for a bigger audience. They're going to critique me, but you know what? I'm not going to grow if I don't step on a bigger stage with like 100 people in front of me. So now how do we go from, we've got that signature talk down, you know what? We've been out there, we've been talking, we're kind of, people contact me when they want a LinkedIn speaker, but how do we go from that stage to the bigger stage and then to getting paid? Can you explain maybe some tactics and tips?
Yeah, so, the biggest thing that needs to happen is your mindset needs to be in a place where you're willing to step up to that level. It's one thing to want it and to say, oh, I'd really like to do that.
Right.
It's another thing to say, I'm ready and I'm going to make this happen, right? Whatever it takes. Okay, so first, work on your mindset and get your head in the right space. Then once you've done that, honestly, the process is very similar. Right? You identify the groups you want to speak for.
Okay.
Write down a phone script that you can loosely follow. Have an email, a couple of emails actually that are pre-written so you don't recreate the wheel every time you want to speak. Have your email templates that you can send out. You want to, when you're trying to figure out where do you want me to cover how to find these events?
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Don't we want to know, like, when we're ready, like, where to find those bigger events? And, like, is there a secret website or a secret society of speakers that we need to belong to?
Yeah, let me tell you guys, let me give you guys a couple of tips on how to do that. Okay, Google is your friend when you are trying to find speaking gigs.
Okay.
Right, so you can, anytime you can search the terms call for speakers, conference speaker, things like that. You can also search based on hashtags. Go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, go on Twitter, definitely go on Twitter.
Really?
And,
Twitter?
Yes, Twitter, absolutely. Hashtag call for speakers.
Wait, I gotta write that. Okay, so will you put that in the, after, will you
Sure.
put some of these tips in there so everyone can get them? Like me?
Yeah. Hashtag call for speakers, hashtag conference. Now, what's that going to do? If you do hashtag conference, you could get a conference from 3 years ago. Yes, that could come up. However, here's the thing. If you find something that comes up as a result for that and the event has passed, you might very well say, wow, that's an awesome event, and it's good to know that that event exists. So now I can go and I can hunt down the information for who actually schedules the speakers, and I can get on the list for next year. right? Another one, hashtag summits, hashtag keynote, hashtag keynote speaker. Okay, those are just a handful.
Oh my gosh. So Twitter is like our best friend if we want to speak.
Twitter, but you can do this on LinkedIn, you can do
Right.
this on Facebook, you can do this everywhere, right? So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing to help you guys start getting more of these opportunities is to make sure that, like Mary said, on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile definitely needs to say speaker. What I do on LinkedIn, and Mary, I hope this is cool with you because you're the LinkedIn pro. But I'll tell you something that I think has helped me on LinkedIn is that I list almost every speaking engagement that I do.
Absolutely.
On LinkedIn. Yeah. And so it shows that I'm currently speaking. Like later on tonight, I'm going to go in and I'm going to update that I spoke this morning live at an actual event. And then I'm going to add tonight that I spoke on this Facebook Live, right? Yeah. So getting that repetitive
it increases your credibility because they're seeing that you're speaking all the time. Don't look at my profile, folks, because I'm working on everyone else's, and I have a list this big to put. But no, I tell all my clients, like, every time you volunteer and every time you speak, everything should go on your LinkedIn profile because people are on there searching for specific things. And when you put down that you've spoken at an organization, that might be the organization that person's searching for aligns with, and they're going to contact you, even if your topic's not the right topic, right? Oh, she spoke at, the National Association for Professional Women, or she spoke at CWIN, or she spoke at Social Media Day. Whatever that is, people are like, oh, that is a great conference. That is a great networking group. She must be amazing. Let me hire her.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another good one. There's a group called the Women's Speakers Association. It's they have a Facebook group. All of you guys should join this. Well, assuming you're a woman, get in the Women's Speaker Association Facebook group. You can join their community. I think their lowest paid option, if I remember correctly, is like $10. But they also have a free option, right? You can join, and people in that group are constantly looking for speakers for their podcasts, for their lives, for their summits, and some things, right? So definitely that's a good group to be in. You can also get listed on the speaker directory, okay?
I was asked if I wanted to do that, and I didn't do it at the time because it wasn't the right time.
Right. So you can do this whenever you want. You can go on, you can go off, you can go on, go off. Whatever your life is allowing you to do. If you want a bunch of calls, get on. If you want everyone to leave you alone, get off. Right? So, but there's nsaspeaker.org is one that you might want to look at. You might also want to look at speakermatch.com. And then just do a Google search for speaker directories and look at opportunities that you have to get listed.
Okay, that's a lot of information for you guys. So we'll make sure that we go back and put all that in the comments. I think the last question that I have that I think the audience wants to know, Stephanie, because I get asked this a lot, is how do I get paid to speak? I'm tired of giving it all away. How do I get paid? What are the guidelines? How do I know when to get paid? Like, you want to go through like what your guidelines are and what we might be looking for?
Let me tell you guys something that might be surprising. Sometimes speaking at events where you don't get paid anything can be 10 times more profitable than those that pay you a speaking fee. Let me give you an example.
Okay. I like examples.
Yeah. So for years I spoke at these, little networking kind of things. And I, was able to make some sort of an offer, but I was really bad at it in the beginning. And so I would speak a lot, and I'd have a lot of people say, oh, wow, that was a great talk. Thank you so much. And then I'd be sitting there with my stuff that I was trying to sell, and no one would buy it. And I'd be like, well, great. I'm glad you liked my great talk, and you don't want to buy anything. That's great. That happened for a long time, right? I lost my train of thought, Mary.
It's better sometimes to speak for free than to get paid.
Right, yes. Sorry about that. Oh, man, that 45-year-old brain, I'm telling you.
That's
Do
okay.
it again. Okay, so eventually I learned how to speak at these free events and make a magnetic offer that was like a no-brainer thing. And so, I would have a 40% conversion rate in the room, and I would make a lot right there. So it didn't matter if I was paid to speak that post. If I was able to make an offer, like I remember one time I spoke for Score. I've spoken for Score a few times. This is not the time I spoke with you, Mary, but this was a different time when I spoke for them. And I did my talk. They made it very clear. Do not pitch a whole lot. Do not do a big sales thing, whatnot. You're here to educate. And I was like, cool. All right. I'm also in business here, right? So there's a line that we can walk. And so what I did was I got up and I delivered a ton of great content. They didn't pay me a dime to get on the stage. But then at the tail end, I just said, hey, if you guys want to know more, I'm over here at my table and I have this wonderful opportunity. It took me all of 10 seconds to tell them what I was offering, so I wouldn't get in trouble with them.
Right.
After that event, I had 47 people
that
bought from me at that event. 47 people that bought a $97 offer. Do the math, okay? So speaking at that event ended up churning about $5,000, okay? Now, flip side. I was invited to speak, actually because of LinkedIn, at an event. I live here in San Diego, and this event was in Orlando. And I was contacted by a host who said, hey, we'd like to have you come speak. We have a speaking budget of $5,000. We'll pay for your airfare, your travel accommodations, all that stuff. And I was like, yes, right? That was my first, bigger one, right? Bigger one.
Yeah.
8,000 people at the conference. And the keynote was Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet. That dude, right? You've seen the TV show?
Yes.
Okay. So I was like, I've hit it. I've hit the big time. This is it, right? I remember flying out there and being like, yes, I am a paid speaker.
Right, you were doing that, a paid speaker dance. Woo!
I was. Okay, well, I went. It was beautiful. It was a huge event, a very impressive, right? I got paid my fee. Guess how much, when all was said and done, I made at that event with Score, where I spoke for free, versus this event. Guess what the difference was? Hardly anything. Hardly anything. So my point being that you can get paid $5,000 to step on stage and speak, or you can go and speak and you can make an offer and get clients for life, right? You can get clients that you can sell them a $97 thing on the stage, but then you can upsell them over time. They see your value. They want more of you. Mary, you jumped into my little speaking funnel, right? You bought my $97 offer at an event. And then it led to more and working together at a higher level, right?
Yes. So
would I make more, let's just turn back the hands of time. When I was speaking and I met Mary, would I make more being paid by the speaker host, a few $1,000s, or would I make more working with Mary where I didn't get paid to speak, but then I was able to offer her my services and continue nurturing and loving on her and encouraging and equipping her over the years? And would that be more? And I won't give away any dollar amounts. I'll just say, yes, it's more. Okay.
And you kind of have a client for life now, because this isn't the first time we've worked together, and it will not be the last time. Yeah. So
and then you can speak on their Facebook Lives, so that's super fun stuff. And then another thing, it would be a disservice if I didn't share this with you guys. Sometimes you don't get paid to speak, and you're not allowed to make an offer, and you can't slide by with the 10-second pitch because they are that locked up about it. So what do? Do you just say, oh no, forget it, I'm not going to do it?
I know. You grow your email list, right? Don't you ask for everybody, you ask? I know this is the one thing I've learned is if I'm not getting paid, which I haven't yet, you guys, it's on my list, but maybe not, is that I always ask for the email list of the attendees.
Yes.
Is that it?
Well, sort of. because you're going to find at some organizations, if you can get that list, fantastic. A lot of organizations will not give you that material. They won't release that to you. So what do you do instead? You have a killer opt-in offer that you share from the stage. Okay, so you know the opt-in offer is your, you know, in marketing land we call it your lead magnet. It's whatever your ethical bribe is, your thing that you'll give away in exchange for an email address. So toward the end of your speech, instead of making an offer to buy something, you say, hey, you guys, I want to continue equipping you. Our time is up today, but I would love to give you, you know, my starter pack for baking the world's greatest chicken pot pies, right? if I were Terry, right?
Right.
I'd love to give you my starter pack. It includes all of the ingredients you need to make your first, well, no, that would be for sale. No, in this case, it's going to tell you all the things you never knew about chicken pot pie that you need to know. It's going to give you ideas on how to dress up your chicken pot pie with some special surprise ingredients and blah, blah, blah. That example. And then you say, if you guys want this, pull out your phones right now. Okay,
that's key. I don't do that.
Yeah. Okay, pull out your next time, right? Next time.
Next time.
Pull out your phones right now, everybody. If they don't do it and they just stare at you like deer in headlights, I just say, you guys, no, I'm like, seriously, I'm waiting here until you pull this out.
Okay.
So pull it out, right? And then people start chuckling and they grab their phones. And you say, if you want my secrets to chicken pot pie, go ahead and text chicken pot pie to da-da-da-da, whatever number you set up to accept this. And then have your email funnel ready to rock and roll. So right away, as soon as they text.
I'm like email funnels.
Oh, face! Right after they text, immediately it's queued up so that email with all the chicken pot pie secrets gets to them. But then you get them into a nurturing campaign.
So I need to do this by September 20th because I'm speaking or October 20th. Oh, I have time. I'm speaking at some event that I got asked to. I'm not looking, but she heard me speak at Toastmasters and has asked me to come speak at this something event. So I should say have my opt-in ready and have my phone and say, hey, I want to keep nurturing you guys. I want to keep equipping you. So grab your phones. And when they sit there, say, no, really, really grab your phones and text this number and you're going to get XYZ.
Probably don't tell them you want to keep nurturing them. That's kind of like just something, it's what you're going to do, but you don't necessarily need to tell them that, right? Because that could be translated as she's going to send me tons of email.
Okay.
I don't want tons of email, right? Instead, I would say, this is how you're going to get my secrets, and this is the only way to get my secrets. So if you want my secrets, do this. And then after that, you go ahead and you make sure to nurture them.
Got it. I like it. You're such a good marketing coach. I love your style. I love that you share everything, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know, all of it, like what works, what doesn't work. We've got a ton of everyone's saying, I love this coaching, great tips. Pull out your phone right now and sign up for a great tip. Can they text to your own number? Well, you don't, Terry. That's from Terry. You don't want everyone texting you. That would drive you crazy. You want to set that up with your email provider, Constant Contact, Active Campaign. Who do you use, Stephanie? Do you use Constant Contact or Active?
Active Campaign right now.
That's who I'm using. I switched to them.
Good.
I don't have my text thingy set up. I don't know how to do that yet.
Okay.
I'll get on that. Stephanie or Rebecca said, great golden nuggets twice in one day. Thank you, Stephanie, because Stephanie spoke this morning. Yay. Gmail. Well, so Terry, that's a secondary question. So what you're going to need is an email service set up like Constant Contact or Active Campaign. Active Campaign's pretty good. I can send you guys an affiliate link if you want that. I'll go ahead and put it in the comments later for you. Constant Contact was a little more expensive, Terry, so I actually had them at first, and I don't use all the features they have, so it didn't make sense for me to continue with them. So I went with Active Campaign, which is really serving my needs at this time.
Active Campaign actually has more functionality.
Does it?
With Smart Follow-ups than Constant Contact does. I'm an Active Campaign brand evangelist. I tell everyone to use them because if somebody opens an email that you send with the chicken pot pie recipe, right? They open it and they download it. Great. You want to respond to them in a certain way. Now, if somebody opens the email and clicks on it but doesn't actually grab it, then you want to respond to them in a different way. Third, if somebody doesn't open it, that doesn't do anything, then you want to respond to them in a different way. An Active Campaign allows you to set up those automations based on the way that people are responding to your emails.
Well, I am so glad I have moved over to Active Campaign. Yay! Now I just have to set everything up.
You would think you were paying us for this, but hey.
Right? Well, these have been some really good tips. I just am so thankful that you were available to come on my show. We've had so much engagement. After the show, like I said, Stephanie and I are going to go back, engage, answer questions, put links up, tips. Angela was doing all the hashtags that you mentioned. She was typing those out, putting them in there. So thank you, Angela, for that. And so I want to know, Stephanie, do you have any last tips or any offers that for the audience here that can help them with their speaking journey or marketing? Because you, in my mind, you're like the storyteller speaker who does branding and awesome marketing all in one.
Oh, you're so sweet. That's so nice. Well, thank you. You know what? My encouragement to all of you guys is to just get out there and start doing it. If you're really, really nervous to get on a stage, remember, a Rotary group isn't a stage. A Rotary group is probably, this is going to sound a little stereotypical, but based on my experience, it's probably 8 to 10 senior citizens that are very kind, very gentle, very forgiving, with very low expectations. Okay? They're just there because it's something fun for them to do, right? It gets them out of the house. They get community, right?
Yeah.
So get in front of those audiences and really think about who you're speaking to, that it's okay. These people are going to be forgiving. If even speaking in front of people, period, even if they are senior citizens that are forgiving and gentle, freaks you out, start with the Facebook Lives, right? Do a little live. Get on for just like 3 minutes. Just get on and say, hi, everybody. I'm doing my first Facebook Live. I'm totally terrified, but I had to get over my anxiety about doing this. So I just wanted to step in for 3 minutes and say hi, and I'll get back next time I have the courage to get back on. Okay, bye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do it and get out there and start doing something. So I can help you. If it's okay, if I could share this, Mary.
Absolutely. Share away.
If you guys want some help identifying some of the speaking opportunities that you should be pursuing, as well as some help identifying what you should speak about. Okay, we joked about the chicken pot pie thing. I think Terry has some other things we can speak on, right?
I think so.
But if you need some help figuring out, well, what could I really speak on? And what could I sell? And what should my opt-in offer be if I can't sell from the stage? I would love to help you guys. And I put together a pretty cool package for you that includes a private consulting call with me where we will discuss all of this. We will not hang up the phone until we've identified the first 3 speaking opportunities you should pursue.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Right? And we're going to get down and dirty. I'm not just going to say Rotary, right? I'm going to tell you, oh, you need to go to the association of so-and-so. You need to call and talk to this person, and this is what you need to say. I'm going to link for you guys. I'm also going to give you a digital copy of my book, which is something that just came out in March. This is my book. It's called Absolutely Unforgettable, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Creating a Heart-Centered Brand and Standing Out in Voice. So I'll give you a copy of my book. I will also give you an email script so you don't have to write it. You're going to be able to copy, paste, and lightly customize it and send it again and again and again to begin that conversation with people that book speakers for events.
That's fabulous. That's going to save tons of time.
Yes, but wait, that's not all.
What? There's more? Get out. Sign me up. Just sign me up.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you lifetime access to a product that I created. I run something called SizzleForce Marketing Academy. And this is for people that are not in a position to hire me one-on-one to do consulting or work for them. They want to learn how to do stuff. So one of the products that I have in there is called the Speak and Sell Game Plan. And it is a digital course that you can listen to whenever it works for you. It's going to teach you, it's going to give you templates that you can download how to outline your signature speech, okay? Because you need to have the signature speech, but, well, how the heck do I write that? What is that? What do I say? In what order?
Right.
When? How? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to help you outline that, right? Then we're also going to identify what your magnetic offer is so people can't help but say yes. It's going to give you more information than what you get in the call on how to find your speaking opportunities. And then it's also going to give you an outline for how to create a speaker sheet because you're at a facility. So
that is a lot of stuff, and everyone over here in the comments is like, and that's not all. And then Terry said, and a set of knives, because that is such a huge package. That is a lot. I'm really touched that you put this package together and that you're offering the audience so much valuable content and a consultation and lists of where they should go find speaking gigs. There's just so much. That is awesome. So tell us, how do we get that offer? How do we sign up for that?
Okay, so you're going to go to tinyurl.com/sizzling speaker system. I like alliteration. I can't help it. Okay, tinyurl.com/sizzling speaker system. And just so you guys know, I brought this down just for Mary. This is the first time I've offered this package.
What?
But I wanted to make it no-brainer for you guys. I know you guys need help with all of these things.
Uh-huh.
I can really whip this up for you quickly and get you on the road to being a speaker that makes money being on the stage,
Yay!
whether it's on a digital stage or a real stage. So just so you know, the intro offer is $197, and it includes all of that. So
a consultation with you is like that much money.
$250 for the consult, yeah.
Yeah, so Terry was asking, so there you guys, that's a lot, and I'm going to tell you, you guys know me. You guys know that I don't promote people that I don't believe in or haven't worked with, etc. I've worked with Stephanie, and I had a consult, and that's how we rebranded me in the consult. It was amazing. But you guys are getting so much more than that. So we're going to put this all in the comments. Angela, you are the bomb. Can you just come on all my Facebook live shows? She's already put the URL in the comments.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much.
And Angela, you need to do this because she's an event planner. So I'm sure that she can use this to book more events. So you guys, this is an amazing opportunity. You need to jump on this because you get not only the consult. I really thought it was the consult and help them find their speaking gigs. And then you threw in the academy and the email templates. I'm like, wow. So everyone's saying thank you and high five. So we're going to end on that note. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for taking time out of your busy schedule and for putting together that fabulous offer for this group of connectors here. And everyone, you can find Stephanie. Make sure that you connect with her on LinkedIn and Facebook. And all of her social media links, which were in the event originally. And you can join me in 2 weeks. I believe it's September 16th for my next episode, Facebook Live episode. And I've got some really great guests lined up for the next 3 months. Some people from social media marketing world are joining us. We're just working out the dates. So I hope that you'll continue to join us. And Rebecca just put in thanks ladies, 197. So the comments, I hear all these beeping. It just keeps going on. So we will definitely go back in and engage with you guys. You guys are awesome. Stephanie, high five. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. So we're going to say good night. So thank you very much. Bye.
Good night. Thank you.